Oh, hello again, everyone. Welcome back. Thanks for visiting once again, and nice to see you all back. I'm going to do some messing around with small stuff today, and I want to finish off these undercarriage parts, and so that we can get them in, and then I can put the wings on, and we can get this aircraft finished and move on to the next one. I'll talk about that in a minute, but anyway, first things first. I suppose I ought to zero in and let you see what I've been up to. So hopefully you can see that. There we go. Just play a little bit of light on that so we can see it. Put some pipe work in here. This is 0.3mm brass, and this is slightly larger copper. Now, in terms of this, the copper wire is the brake line, and it starts inside the hub here, extends underneath the scissor jack and away to the outside part of this and up through the hinge mechanism here, and then up to the top of the undercarriage, way back in the undercarriage well up in here, so it then disappears. So that's fine. This section, as we saw on my video on the walk round of the Corsair over at Yeovilton, this bit ends in here, and there is some additional detail in there, but I'm not going to put it in because it's really too small. When I do a 132 scale version of this, I probably will. In fact, the detail might be visible there anyway, but from arm's length, that's going to look, detailed enough. I'm going to put an extra piece of wire in on the outside section here that moves up in there, which is a tensioning wire, which I think allows the undercarriage, in the event that the hydraulics fail, to be pulled slightly down. So it doesn't do much most of the time, but it sits in here and then goes up towards here, so we'll drop that in, and we'll use a little tiny, excuse me a minute, excuse me, always doing that on film when I'm shooting a piece to camera, it's not good. So we'll use this to go up in there, and if I zero in a little bit harsh there, you'll see I've created a small hole here in order that I can just basically drop the end of that piece of wire in and glue it in with some super glue. That way it's going to stay there, and it can just be positioned into this section here. So anyway, you can see that up close and personal there. Look, this looks complicated, but it really isn't. I mean, to many of you, you probably think, yeah, it's just a bit of wire, and so it is. And I take the view on this sort of thing that really anybody can do it, and my catchphrase in this regard is really going to be, look here, if Zin can, you can. And I think that this is about really showing this as being really within anybody's wit, because I'm not extraordinary by any means, and I suppose the idea of doing this was to really show you that you can achieve these results really in a pretty straightforward manner. So what we'll do is I'll just zero back away from that a little bit, because I was in quite far there. Just go far enough out so that, yes, we'll go out that far for the minute. I just want to put some glue down on the pot there. I'll need that in a minute. That's my glue dibber. But what we are going to do is drop that little piece in there, into the little hole I've prepared for it. So I'm going to do this actually on screen. I'm going to zero right in and see if we can see it as it happens, as it were. So we're going to be quite a long way in here. So we'll just bring that right up to ourselves here, and then bring this in nice and gently here. There we go. Now, I mean, it's little tiny movements here that are going to create the problem here, as it were. Yes, that's going to now stick to me, so that's not really good. So this isn't working particularly well. So let's zip out again and perhaps use the magnifier. So I want to glue this in and get it to a point where I can hold it and then shape it. and I'd need to hold it steady for a while so that it will actually, the glue will adhere properly. And that, no, that's not worked at all, has it? Oh, and guess what? The end of that has just dropped into my super glue, so I do stand a bit of a chance of, and again, of losing that completely. I'm just going to have a little look through this with my magnifier. So there we go. That's the section where I want it to be glued. Let's see if we can hold that there for a second. It is very fiddly, but we'll get there with actually no swearing at all up to now. I was very pleased to be involved with the Black Rifle Model Works auction that Nigel's modelling bench did yesterday. That was Thursday evening. I tuned in really quite by chance, and I managed to pick up a Focke-Wulf 190 A8, which I've never built a German aircraft before. There we go, that's stuck in there. So I've never built a German aircraft before, so that will be a genuinely new thing for me. I think that it's going to be coming down in the next few days, so I'm going to do a kit review of it, which I do hope that you watch. But I was very pleased to be part of that particular auction and to be able to support the very worthy charity. And I would really advise you and recommend, please, that you do go and see Black Rifle Model Works and see what he does with his auctions as well. Because the people that do this thoroughly deserve our support, I would suggest. So yeah, that's enough on that for now. What I'm going to do is just cut that off there. I don't like these cutters because they've got these blooming spring things on the back of them and you lose the feel. But we'll cut that section off there, and then we can possibly use that for the other one. So what I'm going to do is just going to shape that in there. Just to there like that. Now, doesn't look like much, to be honest with you. And it's probably not noticeable for many people, but you and I will know it's there, and I think perhaps that's the most important bit of it, isn't it, really, in some sense. Curses. So the other one here we want to put in, I think this should be just about long enough. Yes, it is. So what we can then do again, drop a dab of glue on that, on the end of that, and then just hold it there. I've done that again, excuse me. Many years ago I used to smoke cigarettes, and I think this is a throwback to it. I stopped smoking over 25 years ago now, who knows, I think it, we should be okay with it now, but you never know. But it does make me cough now and again, so we'll let that just sit for a minute and just dry away there. So I'm going to zero back out again and move the lighting away, because the next thing we're going to do doesn't require quite such a lot in the way of detailing. I'm going to cut that springy bit off there. Oh, that's not in the right place, and you saw that, of course. There we go. I can put that away. So the next thing is, you will recall many ages ago I manufactured these little springs, I'm going to put them in now. So we'll start to do that. So these will sit in there like that. I think you probably see that. We'll just go in a little bit on this, and then you can probably see. So they're likely to sit in there like that. What I'm going to do is to just stretch out a section of this here, so that I can just make a bit of an effort at gluing this. So I've got to have something that I can see there. Again, I'm going to go under the magnifier for a minute, and hopefully you can make this out. I'll see if I can get in a little bit more, maybe out a little bit. That's my light up there. There we go. That's probably going to help matters. There we go. So I think what I can do there, I'm going to cut a section of this off, but I'm trying to make myself a place that I can really glue from more easily. And I think that's it. So there's these bloody cutters again. I don't like them at all. I'll explain why in a minute. So the idea here is to glue one section of the spring in at the top there that you can see, and then the other section in at the bottom so that it's just about vertical, which is what it needs to be. So I'm going to just roughly measure it up. Just to about there. And I think that will be about where we need to be. It's just about there, isn't it? I would say. So I can glue the bottom set. Oh, bugger. Oh, that's one for the swear box then. There we go. So I can glue that bottom section on. So what we'll do is we'll cut away there. What I can then do is see if we can get this round the right way, and then I can glue that onto there, and hopefully get the other section in there. I think that's probably going to fit there, so let's just get a bit of glue on there, a bit of super glue. And let that, yeah, that was clever, wasn't it? That was precisely what I wanted to do, as you can probably imagine. So we'll have another go at that, shall we? We'll go around the other way, maybe that might be better. No, I'll go around the original way I thought I would go, which is, damn. No. That's decided it doesn't want to bond in just for now. Let's try it one more time. Oh, damn it. I've just dropped that entire thing into the glue pot. I know you're all out there in modelling land saying, well, don't put the bloody glue pot right underneath where you're gluing, you plonker. And quite right you would be too, frankly. But actually the huge advantage is that this top section has now glued in, so I can tidy that up a little bit later, can't I? So what we can do is get the old glue dibber out and then just dib a little bit of super glue in there, and hopefully that gets bonded in. So that's the first one. I just need to turn this round and then do the same trick on the other side and see where we go. So there's the second one. So what we'll do this time is we'll look at this way up, get the bloody stupid cutters out, and see, this is what I don't like about these things. This spring means that you suddenly go shut, which is not what you want. I want to be able to get the jaws of the cutter into a position where I can cut, and then cut gently rather than snapping shut. You can hear that noise when I snap the thing shut. So what we'll do then, just let's move the glue pot out of the way, shall we? That might help things, don't you think? So you can then, yes, I'm trying to grasp this very gently and not crush the spring, which would be irksome, I think it's fair to say. And at the same time I can get the this is just above that kink there. So what we can then do, there we go. Cut that off. So we then have a spring that's ready to be, hopefully, inserted on this side. Oh, damn it. Look at that. I just crunched that a bit too hard. You will have seen that. So I think that we can get that in there like that. Just need to twist that round just a tad. Damn it. Come on, spring. There we are. So I'm going to have to prime these and paint them really carefully in case, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. It's alright to just jog the camera now as well, trying to make myself more comfortable in completing this. going to use the glue dibber here. Yeah, now that is a little more untidy, I fear. No, I'm going to leave that like that for a minute and let it just dry off. Now, oh, it's fell off. That's not what we want, is it? As you can see from in close here, the spring has slightly deformed, and that's caused this to stretch. So that's, I'm going to scrap that one and have to make another one. I don't want to use the gash bits in this. So what we'll do is we'll fetch another one out, and we'll make a further one later on, and hopefully all will be well. So I'm going to do this slightly differently this time and attempt to drop this on simply with the other end already not completed, as it were. And maybe this will help us to do this. Doesn't look the same, mind, I don't like that. So, another little go with a glue dibber here. So, let that one just dry a little bit there, and I shall tell you that we went to the Cheddar Caves a couple of days ago just for a little visit to see the stalagmites and stalactites, and the guide there that took us around those caves told us not to crack one off, and she wasn't really even that attractive, but there we go. So that's now done. So the next thing is to find a way of doing didn't really think about this, did I? I'm not going to use these to cut because well, I've pulled that off anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So we're going to have to go back to the original system of creating a little loop that I can use to glue on, and we now have that. So put the sprue cutters away and get the gash old cutters out. And then we can put this on again. Is that going to work that way? Tell you what I might do is I'll just throw that in the pot there. There we go. Let's go that way up. Yes, that's better. It's a better system. So the glue's beginning to dry a bit now, so I'm going to have to get my skates on to do this. And I may do the other one, the other leg off camera, because this has taken 25 minutes so far to do. Oh, really not very much, to be honest with you, but there we go. Just flip that over there. Yeah, see, this is now slightly too long. Let's pull another section off there. Try and make it a little bit shorter. And then see if we can yes. It's a bit tougher than you would think, this. Oh, for fuck's sake. Right, I'm going to cut a little bit more of this off. I don't like that section there at all. That's going to be, I'm going to get that gone. It's a little better. Yes, that's better. I like that better. I'm going to get some fresh glue a minute. And then let's see if we can get this to go in that orientation that I just had it in. There's my bit of glue, there it is. Just in there, because I think that would work quite well. I think we've sorted that. So I hope the next one I do is going to be a little bit better than that, but it gets us into a slightly better position. Let's pull the magnifier away. But what we have then is a an oleo leg that is shall we say noticeably detailed, and when in you think, yeah, okay, someone's gone to a bit of effort there. So that's what it should look like. Again, an arm's length, then that's fine, and most of that stuff is coloured pretty much the same colour as the rest, which is glossy sea blue. This pipe here that goes over the scissor leg here, the scissor jack, is that'll be rubber black. So there we are. So look, it's fiddly and it takes a bit of time, but let's zero out, not in. but you get there in the end and you get the picture, and I really want to start moving this forward. So what I'll do is, when I've got some more time to spare to this, I'll do the other one of these, so you'll get the pair of them, and then I'm going to do another video for you, because I promised you I'd do a video of these things going on, these wings here. So I should probably do that in only a couple of days time, so you won't have a huge distance in time to wait, and we'll see where we go from there. But look, thanks very much for taking the time to visit this morning, this evening, this afternoon, whatever the case may be. Pick a time appropriate to yourself, because it's going to be morning somewhere in the world. And I'll look forward to seeing you next time round, and I'll say a big thanks once again to Black Rifle Model Works and to Nigel's Modelling Bench, and for allowing me to, for everybody, for me getting the Fokker Wolf. Never built a Hasegawa kit before, and I'm kind of looking forward to doing that, to be honest with you. I've never built a German aircraft before, so I've got rather a lot of research to do to be able to make certain that I know what the hell I'm doing. So look, there we go. Thank you very much for your time today. I didn't think we'd do very much, and we haven't, but hopefully that gives you another view of finishing off an oleo leg. And I'll just leave you with the thought that, if Zin can, you can. This is stuff that anybody can do, and hopefully maybe you've got an idea that you could perhaps do this yourself. I do hope so, and if you have, then I've done my job, and I thank you for it. So thanks for your time. Take care. See you on the next one. Bye for now.